Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and today I'm going to be bringing you a book review. I'm going to talk to you for just a minute about Hollow City, which is book 2 in Ransom Riggs' Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children trilogy. The premise of this book is that they have just left Cairn home and literally it's a couple hours after the first book ended, and so they are in the canoes with their things and they are trying to get to the mainland, and once they get there they are almost immediately chased by whites and hologassed, and they find a couple of different loops, they meet some new people, etc., etc. They are trying desperately to get to London to hopefully find a Yimbrin or two, somebody who can help Miss Peregrine because she is stuck in her bird form. And if she stays stuck in bird form too long, she will stay that way forever and they will never get their Yimbrin back. Yimbrin back. Try saying that 3 times fast. So that is the basic premise of the story. They are in 1940s Europe trying to get to war-torn London. So there are several places where they encounter soldiers and they encounter bombs. And I think that Ransom Riggs did a really good job with that part. But on the whole, my overall impression of this book is that it is most definitely a second book in a trilogy, which means it is a bridge book. It kind of feels to me like Iron Man 2, the movie. It's got some great action scenes, some good little quips, nice conversations, but for the most part, it kind of falls flat. And especially when you take the comparison of Iron Man and Miss Peregrine's, the hype that belongs to both of those made the second installment feel a lot flatter than it would have if there was less hype. So his Ransom Riggs' writing style is amazing. It is strong, it is savvy, it's got this almost mystical, melodic feel to it for the most part. And, the story is a good story, but again, it is a bridge story. So no matter how strongly it was told, no matter how well the characters fit together and grew, it's still a bridge story. And there were several places that I felt like could have been cut out or reworked in some capacity to make it a little stronger, to make it move a little more quickly. But, that's just me. I do feel like it was a very good book, just could have been made better. Now the characters, our original group of friends comes back. Emma and Jacob kind of take over the decision making and leading of the group in Miss Peregrine's absence. And a lot of the people kind of grow. You see more sides of them. You see cowards be courageous. You see the people you think are just strong and will always be sweet and courageous and kind. They snap at each other, and the dynamics of the group change as they go on this 3-day adventure trying to save Miss Peregrine. There are several new characters that are introduced. I'm not going to go in vast details, but there's a bevy of gypsies that help them, and those scenes were wonderful because it was not insta group love. It wasn't a great, perfect connection immediately. A lot of things happened before that came around. And I really appreciated the fact that Ransom Riggs did that for us instead of just kind of throwing them together and all of a sudden everybody's friends. And then there's also several members of different loops. And so these new peculiars that they're meeting are odd and they're trying to kind of come to terms with each other's peculiarities and dealing with each other. And I think that that was really, really well done. And everybody's personalities were well drawn and very brightly evident, and nobody was kind of squashed down or just a side person. That being said, let's talk about aesthetics. I really enjoyed the aesthetics. I love the old photography, and I think this book is gorgeous. I love the covers that they have, and I love the photographs that they use. They do have these old retro photographs in here. I have two things that I felt kind of took away from it this time. The first thing being that some of these photographs felt kind of bland and didn't really feel like they fit in as well with the story as the photography that was chosen to go with the first book. And the second thing is that I feel like some of the pictures were included more because he really enjoyed the way the picture looked than because he really needed that character in the story. And he kind of wrote in a paragraph or less about something that really could have been removed from the story, except that he and apparently his editors and publisher really enjoyed the picture enough to include those few sentences that weren't necessary so that we could have the picture. And as much as I love the pictures, I would have rather had a tighter, more cohesive piece. And that's not to say that this book is not tight and cohesive because it is, but I feel like it could have been made a little bit better if some things had been squished, moved around, removed, etc., just a little bit more than they were. But overall, I did give this book a 4 star. It's a very enjoyable read. It is, as I've said, a bridge book. So, you know, it's obviously not going to be as fast paced and crazy as a first or third book in a trilogy. You need that extra information. I just felt like it could have been a bit more than it was, which is why it's not a 4.5 or a 5 star read. And that's all I have about that. So if you've got anything you want to say, just leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the review, the books, or second books in trilogies in general. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys again soon. Until next time, bye.